Hello there, World of Tankers, and welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Blitz, and in today's video, I'll be playing in the Tier 10 Italian auto-reloading tank destroyer, the Minotauro. This vehicle, as I've talked about in the past, is a little underperforming when it comes to the other Tier 10s. It doesn't have a lot of DPM, it doesn't have a lot of accuracy or mobility. All it carries is good gun depression, big alpha, and great frontal armor. So it's a very interesting playstyle, and it's definitely one of the most unique Tier 10s in the game. I have definitely started liking the tank a lot once I've played it a bunch of games now, and in today's video, you're going to see the craziest replay I think that has been played in the tank yet, which is just bonkers. So yeah, we're gonna break into it. This is one of the highest games recorded in the tank as well when it comes to damage. So yeah, this was just a game that got my heart absolutely racing, and let me know what you think about it in the comments. So the enemy team has an FE2 and 5B 183, an IS4, another Minotauro, a TVP T5051, a T92E1, a T95, and the VK45 O2B. So they have a mix of very deadly tanks, specifically the TVP. Yeah, that one scares me. The 92E1, another very mobile tank that can get to my sides, my rear, get some HEs into me. Got to be careful about that. IS4 has enough heat pen to cut through my front. The Minotauro is me, so I definitely have to be worried about that. And, well, the 183 has the ability to nuke my entire hit point pool in one shell. So I definitely got to be careful. Already we've blocked a little bit of damage, as you can see, but nobody's fired really any heat shells at me yet, and I haven't played too aggressive. Now is where we play in the front line. So I get a shell into the 95. For some reason, he doesn't shoot. Maybe he was looking at my front like, where do I shoot this guy? And then just didn't shoot. So we're waiting for our second shell to reload here, or should I say my third shell. We're at 409 damage currently. We're going to aim in a shell onto the IS-4, but you know what? Nah, let's just go for the 95. Free shots for everybody. We get another shell into the T95's lower plate, and with that, we're up to 1,411 damage dealt. I will say, while this vehicle does not have a lot of DPM, the alpha definitely feels punchy, and if you're able to actually keep your opponent sustained and they're not able to move, then that is where the alpha does feel very, very nice, and actually the tank feels quite enjoyable. So we got the enemy Minotauro, tried to track him, but unfortunately it didn't, but I'll still take a 475 pen, especially if he pulls out and again gives me another free shot for 400 damage there. With that, we're up to 2,300 damage dealt, but oh boy, this is not looking good. TVP is just full sending it. Obviously, I don't want to be shot by the TVP. Waiting, and fire! Yes! What a beautiful wait for that reload there. So we were able to get 600 damage out to the TVP, 2,800 damage, and then a second 704 slap into the TVP, now bringing me up to 3,589 damage. There are times, and people will say, don't eat into your third shell. However, there are also times when I will eat into the third shell. If I see the opportunity to absolutely delete hit points on probably the most deadly opponent that I could fight, I'm obviously going to do that. I mean, heck, I've already got one shell loaded again, and I'm almost back to 2. I would say that dumping your third shell is actually not that bad of an idea, as long as you know you have plenty of time to reload them. As you can see here, nobody's able to push on me, so it worked out fine. I was able to get all 3 shells back in the clip. The problem is right now it's a 2 versus 5. It's me and a K91 versus the 183, the IS4, the TVP 92, and the VK45. Alright, K91 finishes off the one-shot IS-4. That's amazing. Come on, K91, I believe in you. Finish off the TVP! You can see we get a bounce from the T92, and we also miss him, unfortunately. And yes, look at that. The K91 finishes off the enemy TVP. So with that, it is a 2 versus 3 at this point. The problem is, if I shoot that last shell, I have no DPM. So I'm literally just allowing that 92E1 to drive to the poor K91 and finish him off. And now, well, the 183 is over here, and I know I have to kill the 183. I mean, it's just, you must kill the 183. So I am completely flanked here. I've got a VK on my side and a T92 on my front. Now, while the VK does scare me, I know that it's only got about 2,000 damage per minute. So it means I have about a minute of sitting here. Oh boy, but now I don't. Now I've got about 30 seconds. But because I know the 92 has a very long reload of about 16 seconds, I have the ability to just turn towards the VK and get a very quick bounce. Now, I want to keep that 92 towards my front. As you can see, that's exactly what I'm doing. Unfortunately, the VK gets another pen into me. And oh boy, T92 tries going forwards. I'm stuck on the VK. No, 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 no. Go, go, go. I need to clear this guy. Boom. Okay, we get another pen into his vehicle just on the edge of his track, and we're able to squeeze right past the VK at the last moment. Okay, this is the situation I want to be stuck in here. This 92 is in my front. This VK is in my front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fire shell into the VK, bait the 92 out, fire a shell into the 92, and there you have it. He's dead. So now it's a 1 versus 1. 6,300 damage dealt, 3,400 damage blocked, and look at how slow the traverses. I actually thought for a moment that it was all over right there, and that the VK was going to kill me because he could actually out-traverse me. But we're waiting. Okay. So we got to bounce, and at this point, all I need to do is reload for 5 more seconds, and I get 2 shells into the VK. 3, 2, 1, fire! We track him. He has no ability to shoot me at this current angle, and fire! Oh my god. That was one of the most painful and stressful situations I have ever been stuck in when it comes to World of Tanks Blitz. This tank, as I went over, is just completely incompetent when it comes to mobility. And I gotta be real, that 92E1 played terrible. I mean, that dude could have very easily just driven around me at any moment, you know, driven away. Instead of doing what he did and kept himself spotted, he could have just driven away behind me and then used the VK as bait and killed me very easily. So that I definitely have to say that was on the T92 for a bit of bad plays there. But even then, just what a painful game, as you can see. This is where the Minotauro does poor, is when you're stuck in those 1 versus 2 or, you know, sometimes even 1 versus 3 situations where I had to dump my shell on that 183, which just sucked because that meant I was on a 20-second reload just to deal 1 490 damage shot, and that still wouldn't even damage the T92, so it's definitely a painful situation with the Minotauro. At the end of the day, we came out with a victory. We were not only able to come out with a victory, but deal 7,700 damage in the process, which is currently the highest damage dealt by 500 on the North American server when it comes to the Minotauro. On the European server, I think the highest is 7,900. However, the only reason my friend pointed out to me I shouldn't count that as much is because right now the EU server is burning in flames. So I'm quite happy with this result, and yeah, kind of a fun game, I would definitely say, although definitely very stressful. My final remarks on the Minotauro, what I would say is that it's not a bad tank. I mean, I've definitely played some pretty good games in it. I'm going 68% with almost 3,300 average damage now. I've managed to bring my average damage up. The problem with the Minotauro is just the fact that it's too slow sometimes, you know? It can't get itself out of a situation that sometimes it gets stuck into, or more specifically, people will just YOLO you. I mean, yesterday I was playing a game in my Minotauro and Molendyke, and just watch what happens in this game, and it wasn't my fault. I literally just drove into the front line, so here I go, right? I'm in a hull-down tank. I've got my entire team going towards heavy side behind me, right? So I'm just driving up towards the front. I'm like, yeah, okay, I can do fine hull down here. Driving my way into the front, reloading my gun. Okay, so we got a Mark 6, and there's the IS-7, okay, and we get 1 shell in, oh, and the Mark 6 and IS-7 just drive right over the ridge. Wow, how fun. Isn't this enjoyable gameplay? This is the problem with a vehicle like the Minotauro, is that it's prone to just absolute ape behavior, and people like this IS-7 just YOLOing for no apparent reason. So I'm going to get 1, 2, and I think I even managed to kill the IS-7. So this loser not only YOLOs me, but then dies to me. So just what an unfortunate circumstance, right? I mean, this Mark 6 dies as well, but the sad part is we actually lose this game. Most likely because I was YOLO'd. So definitely something that got me very angry, and something that normally wouldn't happen if you were in a heavier tank, you know, like an E100. Even if they did YOLO me, the amount of hit points I carry would make it so hard to kill me. But yeah, that's just one of the problems with the tank. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video, and if you'd like to see more like it, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!